Alright, so when we get ready to cut them, you can see the vein. These are really pretty collard greens I got from Mile Creek Pharmacy in 6 Mile, South Carolina. So I cut out the vein of my collard greens, and again, you just follow the line of the vein on the collard green. When you get finished, you'll have like this sword looking thing. This is a source of entertainment for my children. And then you fold it in half. And so here we are. Turn it long ways and then very, very tightly roll it from the top to bottom or bottom to top. Once you get it rolled as tightly as you can, you'll start cutting in very thin increments. Okay, so this is what they look like before, and then as you unravel them, they'll just be ribbons. They'll be collard green ribbons. This will help them to cook down and be very tender and not so hard and crunchy. It'll also cut down on cook time as they'll be thinner and easier to cook. So one more for example's sake. Again, I've already washed mine. I'm going to dry them, pat them dry with a paper towel, and then I set mine face up. And these are really pretty collard greens. So we're going to start by cutting out the vein in the middle and put that aside. And then we're going to roll very, very tightly from top to bottom, bottom to top, however you prefer. Once you get them rolled, you just cut in thin slices, and it will make these very pretty ribbons. So next I'm going to work on my onions and my bacon, getting all that stuff prepped before I start cooking my collard greens. So this is a mandolin. I use this for my onions. It primarily gets them super thin so that they cook evenly. At some point it's going to get kind of full in the bottom, so you kind of have to scooch them around. But you can see in the bottom they're super thin. You can get these on Amazon. You can get them at Walmart for like $10 to $12. Once I get to the back side of my onion where I'm going to cut myself if I continue, I save that piece of onion. And I will cut it really thin with my knife. So I'm going to do my second onion. You're going to put in 2 onions, sweet onions exactly, and I'm also going to use a pack of bacon. I will, however, list the ingredients in the description. So 2 onions is going to pretty much fill up my canister down here. Mandolins do come with a guard if you'd rather use a guard. I don't like to use it, but I'm also probably going to end up cutting myself if I continue not using it. Waste not. So So now that I have my onion pretty much cut up, I am going to start cutting on my bacon. I'm actually going to cut a little bit more of this other onion as well. Okay. Alright, and so this is our onions, and the top of mine comes off. And basically they're just thin, if I don't spill them everywhere. Basically they're just thin onions. No. So bacon, I cut mine before I cook it. You can cook yours and then crumble it in as the collard greens cook. It's up to you. I go ahead and cut mine up so that it cooks faster. And again, that's more of a personal preference. And I just cut it into little about 1/4 of an inch size, so cooks faster. Alright, so we're going to start by turning on medium heat and putting in about 3 tablespoons of olive oil for the bacon. And then we'll just move that right around. So I'm going to add my pre-cut bacon. I just cut it into small pieces so it would cook a little faster. Okay, so I pretty much have my bacon the way that I like it. You can let yours go a little longer if you like it extra crunchy. I do not. So first I'm going to add in my onions. And I am cooking my bacon over medium heat because I don't want it to pop me. So I'm just going to give the onions kind of mixed so they'll soak up some of that good bacon fat. Okay, so whenever I have all of my onions kind of coated, I will start to put in the green collards. And I kind of add them slowly because they have to be pushed down and they have to kind of cook down. So I just put as many as I can in my pan and then just kind of add as I go, or if you prefer you can do a second pot. So from here I am going to add a chicken bone broth. I'm only making half of a recipe, so I'm going to do half of a container. Excuse me, normally this calls for 2 containers, but I'm doing half a recipe, so I'm going to do 1 container. Okay, so I had to switch over to a more efficient pot so I could fit the whole recipe in one pot. So now I'm going to add the second container of bone broth, and I use chicken. I will again leave the recipe in the comment section or the description below. So this is 2 containers of chicken bone broth. So far we have 2 2 onions, and a whole lot of collard greens. So this is 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar that I'm gonna add now. I'm also going to add 6 cloves and 1 tablespoon of sugar, which I know sounds absurd, but the reason is it cuts down the bitterness of the collard greens. And then I'm going to salt and pepper to taste. Do remember your low sodium diet per cardiologist. And then I will mix gently and cover and let this kind of just chillax for a while. Essentially, if you're using your stovetop, it's going to cook for about 2.5 hours. If you're using an Instapot, you can get it done within like 30 to 45 minutes. So just cover and leave it for now. Hang out.